Hello students, today we are discussing about your chapter continue, the enemy. Your next paragraph, he will die unless he is operated on. So thou said, considering the question is whether he will not die anyway. Here, a writer discussing about Sadau's comment that if the man was not operated upon, he will die. He added that even if he was operated upon and saved, he would die at the hands of the Japanese army. So, otherwise, he would die. Your next paragraph, Hana cried out in fear, don't try to save him. What if he should live? Hana screamed with fear and asked Sadao not to save the men. She feared that if he lived, they would be in danger. Your next paragraph. What if he should die? Sadao replied. He stood gazing down on the motionless man. This man must have extraordinary vitality. A vitality means energy, life. He would have been dead by now. But then he was very young, perhaps not yet 25. 25 years? You mean die from the operation? Hana asked. Yes, Sudao said. Sudao questioned that what would be the implication if the man died? He looked down towards the injured man and wondered that he had a lot of energy which had kept him alive through such torture. He countered his thought with the fact that the man was very young. He seemed to be 25 years of age, and at that age, people do have a lot of energy. Hannah asked him that did he mean the man could die during the operation. Thou confirmed her question. Hannah considered this doubtfully, and when she did not answer, Sadaus turned away. At any rate, something must be done with him, he said. And first, he must be washed. He went quickly out of the room, and Hannah came behind him. She did not wish to be left alone with the white man. He was the first she had seen since she left America, and now he seemed to have nothing to do with those whom she had known there. Here, he was her enemy, men's living or dead. Men's means danger, threat. Hannah was pondering over this possibility, and as he was taking time to reply, Sadao left. He said that something had to be done with the injured man, irrespective of the result. The first thing was to watch him. As he walked out of the room, Hannah followed him. She did not want to remain in the room alone with the white skinned man. Since she had left America, he was the first white man she had seen. She had no contact with the Americans whom she had met as they were her enemies. This injured man was also an enemy and was a threat to them. Your next paragraph. She turned to the nursery and called Yumi, but the children heard her voice and she had to go in for a moment and smile at them and play with the baby boy. Now nearly 3 months old, over the baby's short black hair, she motioned with her mouth, Yummy, come with me. Hannah turned to the children's room and called out Yummy. As the children heard her voice, She went inside, smiled at them, and played with her 3 months old son. As she held the baby who had soft black hair, she motioned with her mouth to Yummy, asking her to come. Your next paragraph. I will put the baby to bed. Yummy replied, he is ready. She went with Yummy into the bedroom next to the nursery and stood with the boy in her arms, while Yummy spread the sleeping quilts on the floor and let the baby between them. Here, Yummy replied that the baby was ready for sleep and that she must put it to sleep before accompanying her. Hannah held the baby and went to the bedroom next to the nursery with Yummy, and Yummy spread the sleeping quilts on the floor and led the baby between them. Then Hannah led the way quickly and softly to the kitchen. The two servants were frightened at what their master had just told them. The old gardener, who was also a house servant, pulled a few hairs on her upper lips. Hannah led the way as they walked fast towards the kitchen, and the two servants in the kitchen were scared after hearing their master's words regarding the injured man. The old gardener, who also worked as a servant, was thinking over the news, and pulling the hair from his upper lip. Your next paragraph. The master ought not to heal the wound of this white man, he said bluntly to Hannah. Bluntly means in a straight way, forward manner. The white man ought to die. First he was shot, then the sea cut him and wounded him with her rocks. If the master kills but the gun did, and what the sea did, they will take revenge on us. The old gardener spoke bluntly to Hannah. He said that thou must not treat the injured white man. He reasoned that the man was destined to die. Firstly, he had been wounded by gunshot, and secondly, a rock of the sea wounded him further. If thou heal the wounds given by the gun and the sea, the gun and the sea would treat them as enemies and seek revenge. The gun represent the Japanese army and the sea represent the country of Japan. If they treated the enemy, they would be finished by Japan. Your next paragraph. I will tell him what you say, Hannah replied courteously, means politely, but she herself was also frightened. Although she was not superstitious as the old man was, could it ever be well to help an enemy? Nevertheless, she told Yummy to fetch the hot water and bring it to the room where the white man was. Hannah politely said to the gardener that she would pass his message to thou. She was frightened, though not superstitious like the old man. She thought that helping an enemy could never be good for them. Still, she asked Yummy to get hot water into the room where the injured man was kept. Your next paragraph. She went ahead and slid back to the partition. Snow was not yet there. Yummy followed out down her a wooden bucket. Then she bent over the white man. When she saw him, her thick lips folded themselves into stubbornness. Stubbornness means firm determination. I have never washed a white man, she said, and I will not wash so dirty one now. Here, Hannah went inside first and moved the partition to one side. Snow was not there. Yummy followed her and kept the wooden bucket on the floor. As she saw the white man, her thick lips folded and the expression on her face indicated her determination. She said firmly that She had never was an American man and that she would never was one who was as dirty as that injured man. Hannah cried at her severely, "You will do what your master commands you." Hannah reacted to Yumi's refusal. She screamed at her that she was supposed to follow her master's order, and there was no fear, see a look of resistance, the refusal to accept upon Yumi's roundel face that Hannah felt unreasonably afraid. After all, if the servant should report something that was not as it happened, Yumi resisted strongly. Her dull face had a dangerous look of protest, which scared Hannah. She was worried that if the servants reported something different from what had happened, they could land into trouble. Okay, this is your today's lecture. Thank you.